Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey, this is David. And this is Troy from Lovesick Radio, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Turn it up.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have Mr. David Harris and Troy Brown of Lovesick Radio. April 26th, alternate rock band Lovesick Radio has released their newest single, Bloodshot Eyes, which was voted Track of the Week on Classic Rock Magazine. Also, Lovesick Radio has played the NHL All-Star Game with Fall Out Boy and OAR, plus the Xinjiang International Music Festival in China, the Vans Warped Tour, and has shared the stage with the likes of Bon Jovi, Scott Weiland of Stone Temple Pilots, rest in peace, good sir, Dorothy, Josh Todd and the Conflict, Waylon, Bubba Flex, the mighty Bubba Flex, I should say, Blue October, Kid Rock, Steel Panther, 3 Days Grace, Buckcherry, Hinder, 21 Pilots, Paramore, Dead Sarah, to name a few. Additionally, between live shows and writing recording, the band found time to bring their live energy stage overseas for tours in Japan. That to me is very impressive in South Korea and Singapore. So we're going to be talking to these gentlemen about that. So David, Troy, how's it going?
What's going on, man?
It's going great. How are you doing?
Doing awesome. Glad to have you guys on the show.
No, we appreciate you having us, man.
So let's jump right into this. How's it been working with Tag Publicity so far?
They're awesome. They're a dream to work with. Song is killer, and everybody over there is just working their butts off for us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always good to find a good partnership, and hopefully it's mutually beneficial. Hopefully, things that we're bringing has opened some doors, and they've definitely done their share of the work. So we'll keep trying to write some good music and see what happens.
What's impressed or excited you the most about working on the new album, if anything, so far? What's caught your eye or impressed you the most, if anything?
Just freedom. We're really kind of doing it grassroots on our own. We've been working with an engineer, and he helps with production, but really we're able to do whatever we want. We're not really chasing any sort of trends or anything like that. We're just trying to write honest rock and roll stuff that we love, and just trying to honor it the best way we can. So for me, it's eye-opening because I've worked in the past where, I've kind of been dictated to on how things are going to be done, but being still independent, we've had a lot of freedom, and we can kind of do what we want. So for me, the freedom has been refreshing. Dave has any other anything to add?
I think you said it great. Yeah, I mean, this record's just been it's about like it's a love letter to rock and roll for us. We're kind of just wearing our influences on our sleeves and writing the type of music that we love without worrying about if it gets on the radio or not. And I think it's showing in some good songs.
Lovesick Radio has released a single for Bloodshot Eyes, which has made some noise the last little bit. Was it hard, guys, to choose between the current set of songs that you're working on for this album? Which one would be the first single, let alone a video possibly?
No, because what we've been doing is kind of just, instead of putting out a full record right away, we've been putting out a bunch of singles. And this is our current one that we just ended up finishing. And it had a vibe right from the start, and we were excited to get it out.
But, by doing it this way, like everything we put out is, quote-unquote, a single. But what people don't realize is behind every song that comes out, there's probably 5 songs that haven't made it, or we're just not feeling, so we might rework. So we really try to filter things before we send it out. So yeah, I mean, to answer that, it was easy just to pick because that's the one that we felt the best about at that time and decided to finish. And but no, I mean, like Dave said, there was something a little more special about this one than the others. We've had some good reactions before, but I don't know, this one just felt special, and we thought we'd give it a shot.
Once all these singles are out, are you guys going to turn it into an EP, or are you going to do a full length with all these, or what?
There's going to be probably an EP coming out first with some different music on it,
okay,
as well as some of the songs we put out before. I'll probably and then a follow up for a full length, following year.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely think there being a collection. I mean, when you play at least the music we've released in the last year or so, it definitely is something that ties it together. So I think, without even intending to, it is kind of building an album, but we pour so much more time into each song. We're not going in and just trying to track 10 songs at a time. We're focusing one at a time, and I feel like that's given us an opportunity to get a little better product each time, so we just focus on one at a time rather than trying to tackle it. So we got these 10 songs, let's hurry up and knock them out.
Do you guys have any songs that stand out more to you right now than any? I know it must be hard to choose between these. I know these are songs close to you, and I know it must change every time. But do you have any that stick out for each of you, maybe?
For me, other than Bloodshot Eyes is one that stands out to me, a song called Tell Me Why, which is the second song Troy and I ever wrote together. That one has stood out, maybe just from the reaction to it. It's always been very positive. And then there's a song called You Should Know, which I think is just a cool song. It has a great bass line by our bass player, and Troy's lyrics are really cool in that song as well. He sings it pretty well.
It's funny. I mean, they're all special, and they all have something unique, and obviously that's why we put it out. But I'll be honest, it's like ADD society. It's the most fresh, the newest. I always gravitate towards, just because I'm trying to write a better song every time we write. Not that anything in the past is less, but I always like the newest and latest and greatest. That kind of gets me going, and then we finish that, and then I'm ready for something else. And I think a lot of times listeners are the same way. You'll hear a single, and they'll love it, and then the new single comes out, and you hope that they love that as much. So, I don't know. I mean, so for me, just being super wanting the next thing, I'm always excited about the newest stuff that we're working on. So, for me, Bloodshot Eyes is the newest release, so that's the freshest. But we've got some other things we're, working up that I'm pretty excited about as well.
You guys have started working with guitarist David Harris, co-producing with Joe Veers of 21 Pilots and Bubba Flex, the mighty Bubba Flex. I love Bubba Flex.
Great guys.
You damn right they are. And producer Warren Hewitt of The Fray and Aerosmith. How's it been working with these guys?
They've been great. We tracked with Warren in the past. We're probably going to do some stuff with him in the future here on some of his upcoming songs. So right now it's been Joe. We've been doing it with Joe, who also, like you said, worked with Bubba Flex, and it's just really easy in the studio. It's like it's a lot of laughs, and we know what we're doing when we walk in there. We're just on the same page. It's just, would you agree with that?
No, absolutely. I mean, Joe's the producer you always want, because when there's that silence, you want someone to speak up and speak their mind, and he's there. But he also gives you the space to kind of do what you want, and no matter what, he'll let you try it. Even though he's like, this is probably a waste of time, but he lets you do it because you just never know. Something might sound odd, and then you track it, and it sounds great. So it's just that fine line of giving you space to explore and create and do your thing. But then when you're second-guessing or wondering, he has no problem, telling you, no, this is the better one, the better take, the best way, the better tone. So he's not timid in that way, but he gives you enough space that you feel like you're still in control of your creation. So it's been a real enjoyable kind of time in the studio.
Now, I know you guys have been doing this for a long time, though, but did he get anything out of you guys that kind of shocked you or surprised you? Like, hey, man, well, that's pretty damn awesome.
I think he's captured some pretty cool performances. Like, we're in there, everybody's really open in the studio. So, Troy will try a bunch of different ways and vocal ideas, and then I might suggest something he'll try, and, Joe might suggest something. I
think what I get out of Joe, whether it's a surprise or not, his confidence, you know, I'll just be like, man, I don't know, let me try this, and you know, he's encouraging, and so I'm not afraid to fall on my face. So I'll take some chances, take some risks. You know, sometimes you work with other producers and you're kind of intimidated, so you keep things pretty safe, but you know, it's kind of a safe room with Joe. He lets you kind of do what you want, and I don't feel judged or whatever. So he's given me confidence, and that's kind of been a little bit of surprise just from different people I've worked with in the past. And it may just be me maturing as an artist, but no, again, just working with him is kind of been a really good thing for us.
I want to talk about Bubba Flex for just a few seconds. I've been a fan of Bubba Flex ever since I heard Turn the Heat Up, and that was way back in the day.
That's old school.
Yes. And now their cover of Sound of Silence, I think is hands down like the third best band that's ever covered that song. I mean, they absolutely, God.
Oh, they kill it, man. They kill that song. And they did that at the same studio that we record at as well.
I think what's great about those guys, I know they're kind of West Virginia, but they've kind of claimed Columbus, where we're from, as like their second home. But, I mean, the reason I feel like they've got such a career, obviously the music speaks for itself, but like you've said, and we know just by hanging out with them in the studio and doing shows together, good people, you know, and that's what's going to really give you that long career, because, you know, there's just so many bands that if you're not good people and you're not out there working your butt off, you're going to get passed by or no one's going to give you a chance. So it speaks volumes that they've been around as long as they have, just because they're good guys, and that's in addition to putting out quality music.
And I'm going to say this right now on the show, no disrespect to you guys or anybody that's ever been on BODS Mayhem Hour, but Bubba Flex deserves to be on these festivals, these major festivals that are happening, because I think they are top-notch, and they should be on those damn festivals right now.
You know, I totally agree. And you know who else should be on those festivals? I think we should as well. We go on before Bubba Flex. So it's us, Bubba Flex, the other band.
So we've got it figured out. So, yeah, we appreciate that.
Who's doing the cover art for this album, guys?
Honestly, it's just been me or Troy with, you know, just our ugly mugs.
When we say do it yourself, we're pretty much wearing all the hats. So, and it's just because we can. I mean, you know, it's cost effective, and just kind of how we want to do it. We just enjoy kind of being in control right now, because, you know, you don't get that a lot. So, yeah, I mean, it's been just kind of mix and match between Dave and I, and just kind of putting stuff out. Obviously, some great art, photographers and stuff, you know, we're using their photos, but that's been it.
What do you hope everyone takes away from this single, or message you hope they hear while listening to your guys' music, or just anything you guys put out? What do you hope they get from it?
I personally hope they are able to escape their daily lives with it, you know, use it as like a form of entertainment, and just like shutting the world off for an hour or whatever, and just have a good time.
Yep, it's just a break from the grind, and this song in particular is celebrating that. Bloodshot Eyes, you know, if you listen just to the surface, is obviously kind of just a good old drinking song, but I purposely wrote something a little more deep, that if you're just driving in your car and you're going through something, if you really want to dive into the lyrics, there's a message of hope in there. So, you know, just try to create three dimensions. But like Dave said, I mean, at the end of the day, it's music, and we want to just have people escape. And if it's something that they just enjoy listening to on the surface and get stuck in their head, or whether they dive deeper, you know, that's all we can ask for is to provide something to people that they enjoy.
Do you see this band still musically growing, guys, from where it started, or just has it been a personal growth for both of or all of you guys involved in this?
I think it's a constant evolution from song to song. You know, everyone in this band has such diverse and different backgrounds and influences, so we're still figuring it out. You know, it's just been not to be cliche, but a giant melting pot, and we're just still stirring right now. So I don't even think, I think the best is yet to come. But yeah, to answer your question, it's a constant evolution.
Yeah, plus each time you do something new, you just want to challenge yourself. Like, you just want to do something cool. You know, it's going to live on forever, so you don't want it to suck.
Of course not. 20 years down the road, you're going, why in the hell did we put that out?
Yeah, I don't want to ever feel that way.
Exactly, and we're trying to stay true to just the classics. There's not a lot of flash. You know, like I said, we're not chasing any trends. At the end of the day, it's a couple guitars, bass drums, and a vocal. And if a song can survive like that, I think it truly can kind of pass the test of time. Our production's pretty raw, pretty straightforward, so I feel like it's something that's got some longevity to it. We're not really subscribing to any of the kind of current trends, I guess. So in that regard, I hope it lasts for a while.
Do you guys like to do anything differently during the writing and recording process to help keep your minds and fresh, open to new ideas, to not let the music get boring? I mean, I know this is two concepts, but what do you guys like to do, if anything?
Well, I mean, we always record completely naked.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No, I don't. Too much? Is that an overshin? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I don't. When I'm writing music, whatever, I try to not think and open up that antenna, if you will, so the ideas can come. So I try not to get in my own way. I think at the end of the day, that's what I always try to do, and sometimes you got to go. The song has to play out the way it's going to play out. You have to go through those parts where there's a song working on right now. I've written 3 different choruses that I've sent Troy.
Yeah, and then vice versa. I mean, I'll bring ideas vocally or melodically, and I've written 3 or 4 different choruses, and then once we land on something, I'll go back, and because lyric is important to me, so I'll go back and make sure I'm saying what I want. But for me, it always starts with kind of like melody first. But then that's always, our formula is just Dave has these riffs, and he'll send them and create the music, and that inspires something in me, and I'll put something together, and then we'll take it back to the band, and we feel like we're landing melodically and musically, then I'll really go back and do some rewriting of lyrics and things like that. So everything's just as important as the other, whether it's the music, the melody, or the lyrics. We definitely spend a lot of time in each aspect. Some things come quicker than others, but a lot of things, if we slaved over it for weeks and weeks and weeks, we'll put it away and just kind of let it sit for a while, because I just don't think you're going to get anything if you keep laboring over it. It's just got to feel right and come somewhat quick. But we've probably drifted way from your original question. I think we went down some sort of hole, but you feel free to guide us back on track here.
What can fans expect at a show from Lovesick Radio who have not got to see you guys live as of yet?
A lot of energy. It's like that's the great thing about playing rock and roll is playing a power chord through a loud guitar is probably the second best surge you can get through your body. So we're trying to deliver that live. We want people to have a good time and just again, get lost in the music and not give a shit what's going to happen the next day and just live in the moment.
We kind of self-proclaim ourselves as being like blue-collar rock on steroids. So I think what you can get is us working our asses off on stage, because what we realize more than anybody is the people that show up could be anywhere, and they've worked their butt off all week, and they've earned their money, and they came, and they want to see a show. So we've got to work our asses off and put a show on for them. So, I think just you're going to come see us work, but enjoy it. So, I think the ultimate goal is to do something you love for a living, and hopefully that's shown when people come out to see us on stage.
What made you both want to become a musician? What was that spark for each of you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do?
For me, I think it was hearing my mom play records by Aerosmith and the Sex Pistols and the Rolling Stones. Music like that just kind of, as soon as I heard it, just turned something on inside me that has never turned off. I've become obsessed with it ever since then.
For me, I don't know. I always say I feel like it chose me more than I chose it, only because some people have the gift to paint and some people build a house or work on cars, and I can't really do any of that, but somehow I can craft a song, and that's just kind of what I was given. And so, like I said, I just, once I kind of figured it out, even as a young kid, just writing music was always my thing. I was never great at playing other people's stuff, so that's how I became. I told people I wasn't talented enough to play cover songs, so I started writing my own. And then I kind of did it reverse after I figured out, playing guitar or writing songs, and I'd go back and get inspired and learn how they did it. But, without it being too cheesy, I don't know that I had much of a choice. It just kind of, it's who I am, and I don't really feel complete unless I'm writing music.
Is there a country that stands out or shocks you that Lovesick Radio gets support from, or your music gets played in, possibly?
I think any country or place that plays us and enjoys us, it's a shock to me. It's just, I think it's like we're truly blessed to have been able to travel and play music, and it's a gift.
I mean, absolutely, like, especially countries that don't even speak our language, but even more so when we go to China, which, you know, them being on a kind of closed internet thing that they don't have the access to YouTube and things, for them to embrace us basically as just a first listen kind of deal, you know, that's amazing to me, you know, that we can turn some heads over there without them having the ability to kind of, obviously we're an American band, so we've got stuff going on here, but to go over there and really have the reaction we do, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, because you guys had some tours overseas in Japan, South Korea, and Singapore. How was that, and how did they, you know, like, reception to you guys? And I know they had to be singing some of the lyrics back to you all.
It was pretty crazy, man. It's just, again, you go over those places for the first time, you're like, it's a culture shock a little bit, you know, because it's such a different world, and, you know, to have people show up to watch you play, you're like, what? How do they know the song?
It's just cool to see that rock and roll still has such an impact globally. It's so easy for us to get caught up just in the States and kind of think about where rock is, whether it's on top, whether it's sliding. When you really see the world, it's still out there, and it still has a pretty passionate and hardcore following. So, you know, that's been something we've had the luxury of seeing firsthand.
Is there a band on the bucket list that you would like to tour with, or maybe do an old school album split with, guys? Possibly.
It's tough.
The Stones, Rival Sons, the AC/DCs.
Yeah, like all of that. I mean, people that have just sold bazillions of albums. I mean, only because that would get you possibly into the ears of those people, maybe turn them on to something new. So, I mean, yeah, like Dave said, big bands, you know, Stones, AC/DC, or even some newer bands that are really kind of blazing a trail right now. And like I said, Rival Sons we're real big fans of as well. So, and anybody that is into what we're doing, we would love to share it.
Everybody, you want to get out and pick up Lovesick Radio's new single, Bloodshot Eyes. They're going to be doing a run of singles and hopefully an EP here soon. Maybe full length here. I don't know. They're going to be working on it, but we'll see. Guys, how can folks stay in touch with you? Buy some merchandise, tour dates, pick up the single, all this good stuff with you guys. How can they do that?
You can find us on the, you know, at Lovesick Radio on Twitter, at Lovesick Radio on Instagram, at Lovesick Radio Band on Facebook, Bandcamp, at Lovesick Radio.
We try to make it easy on people.
Yeah.
Like, just be everywhere, and then just band name, just do a search, and you should find us. We're trying to make it pretty simple.
Yeah.
And before I let you guys go, would you care to do a promo for my show?
We would love to. Hey, this is David.
And this is Troy from Lovesick Radio, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Turn it up.
Everybody stick around. We've got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link, plus our YouTube link, and hopefully soon our Twitch link. And also get out and check out Lovesick Radio and their single, Bloodshot Eyes. It's really, really good, and you won't be disappointed in this band. Guys, I wish you all the best of luck from here on out.
Thank you so much.
Wow, we're too much in sync. That was super lame. But no, thank you, Bob.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.